Chosen One!
Welcome to The Chosen One. I am your host, Qui-Gon Din, and today on Unit 101, we are going to be looking at the son of the Chosen One, Jedi Knight Luke Skywalker. He is a 7 squad point primary that is bringing us 3 points of force to play with. He brings a tactic, Return of the Jedi. At the start of this unit's activation, one character in this unit may jump, and then you refresh a force. This allows Luke to be very consistent with his force economy, as he will bring us 1 extra force every time he activates. He has 1 active ability. It's called You Can Either Profit by This or Be Destroyed. Choose an active objective within 2. Each enemy character contesting that objective may dash. Then 1 character in this unit may dash towards that objective, and it may make a 5 dice attack. This allows Luke to basically get double taps off. It also gives him some extra movement. It's a pretty interesting ability. It's not a straightforward ability, but we can use this ability to make some key plays with Luke Skywalker. He brings us Deflect, which is a reactive after a ranged attack targeting this character is resolved. This unit may use this ability. If the attack contained 1 or more fail results, the attacking unit suffers 2 damage. This is going to be good because your opponent is generally going to try and shoot Luke rather than melee him, because it's going to be the one way they can kind of get him off points, but he can deflect, so you're doing 2 damage in return. Very good defensive ability. It's a staple most Jedi have. It's bread and butter at this point. He brings us another reactive. This is one of the reasons why we're taking Luke. I will not fight you. When a character in this unit is targeted with a melee attack, this unit may use this ability. After the attack is resolved, if the attack roll contained 1 or more fail results, 1 character in this unit may double heal and jump. This allows Luke to be extremely tanky on points and very hard to remove off points. This has also gotten better with the likes of Anakin Skywalker being in the game, just because now you can jump away from Anakin's double attack and prevent a wound. He brings us his identity. I am a Jedi like my father before me. While this unit's order card is in the order deck or in reserve, this unit and Allied Rebel Alliance units within 5 have immunity to expose. While this unit's order card is not in the order deck, this unit and Allied Rebel Alliance units within 5 have immunity to pin. This is very good. This is going to be the big draw to playing Luke now, is the global effect of range 5 characters gain immunities. Immunity to expose is still really strong against pieces like DTS, the Death Trooper specialist that can expose on a stick, Armorer, Darth Maul, the Inquisitorius with the Enfeeble Expose, Dathomirians. Just anything that can expose and sets up exposes will have immunity. Luke's really good at that. And then being immune to pin is super huge, because this shuts down a lot of steps on a lot of people's trees. Pulling Luke early and putting him on a middle point just to make it so everything's going to be immune to pin is very strong. Very, very strong in terms of reducing the amount of damage and conditions that you're going to be taking. We look at his stance. We've got 4 and 5 Gemso. This is his aggressive side. He does 6 damage on 3 here, with 5 on 2, with a reposition on 3. You look at the X-Priest, 1 2 is 2 hits, 3 plus is a crit and hit, 4 plus crit hit damage. 1 to 3 defensive expertise gets you a block and a crit to a hit. 4 plus gets you 2 blocks, crit to a hit. And he's rolling 5 defense dice at both melee and range. This is definitely his more killy side. But this side's kind of a trap. Where you want to be keeping Luke is in Ceresu. He has a much better tree here, much better defensive expertise and melee expertise. So he's attacking with 7 dice, 6 defense dice in both range and melee, but 1 expertise for offense gets you a crit, 2 to 3 gets you 2 crits, 4 gets you 2 crits and a jump. This is very consistent. Luke is going to consistently get 2 or 3 down his tree, so he's going to usually land at that 5 damage, 2 shoves and a jump, or 4 damage and 2 heals with a shove and a jump. His defensive expertise, 1 block and a crit to a hit with 1. 2 to 3 gets you 2 blocks, crit to hit. 4 gets you 2 blocks and a crit to a fail. Very good expertise in terms of staying alive, especially if you just like open him up early, hunker him up under the center point. He's going to be very tanky. 11 health, 3 durability. He is one of the tankier rebel units. So, what do we do with Luke? His big playmaker is going to be you can either profit by this or be destroyed. This allows us to do a couple things. This can cheese us some extra movement if you play it right. And I'll go into an example with this. I have a scenario set up. This is an opening board on Sabotage Showdown. Luke is deployed on the left. We normally, if you open up Luke in this situation, you can get Luke to the midline, but not on elevation. What you can do with you can either profit by this or be destroyed is you can get him up the elevation in the following steps. So right off the bat, if we activate him first, it's going to be Return of the Jedi. His tactic is going to jump him forward. We will jump him towards the right side of the objective, because by jumping him to the right side of our front objective, it is an active objective. We can choose it with you can either profit by this or be destroyed. This gives him another dash. And since it's towards the point still, we can dash him ahead of the point. This cheeses Luke up the board a very good amount. And it's going to allow him to really get to the point where we can do a climb action and we can get him up on top of that point instead of being underneath that point. Being directly on the point is where Luke wants to be. Now you can hunker up and you can just go, come at me, I have a hunker token. Or if they get in melee, you can play the I will not fight you card to jump back on the point after he gets displaced. We got another scenario on how we can really abuse. You can either profit by this or be destroyed, and that is off of attacking your opponent. On the left picture of the board, we see Luke engaged with Fourth Sister. Well, if we're attacking in Ceresu, we get shoves on 1 and 2, and we're generally going to get those 2 shoves. So what you'll do is you'll attack with Ceresu, get 2 shoves back. You can knock her off the point while you are still on the point, meaning you can choose the active point behind you, and your opponent has no characters on there. They can't dash. You still get to make the 5-die attack against Fourth Sister, though, because she is still in range, meaning you can put that 5-die attack in there, shove her some more, or get the wound, and just Ceresu allows Luke to really get consistent double taps off, meaning he's going to have a lot more output than a normal primary would with 2 attacks. And this is how you generally are going to use that 5-die attack. It's scenarios like that where you can push people off points with your attacks, or you select a point that's behind you and have engagement of your character that's not on the point, that you can really utilize the extra attack. Most of the time, you can either profit by this or be destroyed to cheese extra movement onto points and to allow you to get like on elevated points. It is a play pattern that you need to know with Luke to really take full advantage of him. That way his bubble is gonna always be active. So you can either be profit by this or be destroyed is very important. So where do we want to put Luke? Well, if we're going to play Luke, you want to play him in a very defensive style list. You want to really put him in a list that can really abuse the identity and the immunity to pin. So the top list that I play with him, my favorite list with him right now is with Kanan. Gives you access to Ezra, and Sabine here can move Luke around, which is very strong. Kanan, if he's already in position where he needs to be, can use his tactic to move Luke. Being able to move Luke is going to be very important because Ezra and Kanan have dashes on their expertise, and the immunity to pin is going to allow them to be sticky on points. The immunity to expose bubble really helps Lando and R2 here because them being immune to expose is going to allow them to add their dice without fear of exposing themselves and damaging themselves. So they're going to throw their 7 or 8 die attacks, meaning they're going to land some damage, and they have pretty good damage on their early part of their tree. The other cool thing about this top list is both Lando and R2 and Chopper can't be shot while they're near in the order deck. This means that it's just less attack targets for your opponent, and it can come up quite a bit. Chopper's been very impressive the last few games I've played with him. He's been a workhorse. All in all, if you want to play Spectres, this is where I go. This is a newer list that once we get the pieces, it's going to be something to definitely try. And that's Luke with Bodhi Rook. Bodhi Rook is a new 3-point rebel secondary that can move Luke, which is very powerful. It also gives Luke steadfast. And Luke having steadfast on a point is going to be insanely consistent and insanely hard to knock him off. Rebel Commandos here, again, we just got really good output now with the support. And we're putting this with Captain Cassian Andor. We're keeping Ezra for the tiebreak, and we get Bazin Turret, who is, in my opinion, one of the most consistent supports in the game. Been putting him through her paces, very strong. But the cool thing about this list is when your opponent wounds something, Luke is going to advance around the board. His mobility in this list is insane because of Cassian's revenge trigger. If you're wanting to really abuse Luke, these are probably the two lists that I would be looking at right off the bat. So, this has been Unit 101 on Jedi Knight Luke Skywalker. I hope you guys enjoyed, and stay tuned for the next one. Thank you for watching this episode of The Chosen One, a Star Wars Shatterpoint podcast. If you want to catch the next video, you can watch the one linked above, or you can just go and listen to the podcast on the playlist below. Please like and subscribe. Thank you for your support.